just thought I'd try, man.
That was actually cool. Like yesterday when we did the snapping thing and worked when we both did it. Oh my goodness!
No intros.
No intro for
Forget it. This guy's DongRaeGu, the other guy's JYP.
He is 6 pooling. He is.
They're actually just not going to do intros.
All right.
When
no
this thing happens,
okay.
Forget intros, Mole Trap. There's a proxy gate, there's proxy barracks, or there's.
Sometimes they still go through it if it's like proxy. But 6 pool.
They changed that since you left. It's actually really cool. Yeah.
Okay, good. Anyway, wow. So this is actually, remember like we were talking about earlier on maps where it's hard. Oh my goodness, he's gonna scout it first. He scouted after Pylon, and he's gonna see it immediately. Oh my gosh.
He's gonna do some probe harass here.
He's actually gonna put down the forge. Now the reason why he's doing this, what you have to do to respond to this, you have to put down the forge, and you have to put down a pylon in your main.
Yeah.
And then you have to sack the forge, sacrifice the forge, and just like leave it there and try and get a cannon in your main mineral line. That's the only thing you do to defend this. And luckily he's seen it early enough that he can do it, I think.
Ooh, extractor trick to get a few extra Zerglings out. I like that.
Nice. Remember we were talking about how on maps where it's hard to cheese, sometimes if you cheese you can catch someone off guard.
Yeah.
JYP was all over that, man.
He really was.
And
going
there's
down
the cannon.
here.
Not where I would have put it.
Well, it's somewhat exposed, but you should have it up in time. You can block with probes, put the probes in stop position.
Yeah.
And if the Zerglings spend any time on the forge at all, then of course.
I don't think they will. No, he's just going to run right by it.
Yep.
He knows he needs to get in the main quickly.
He's going to
Cannon is going to be almost complete, but here.
Yeah, he's going to want to block this.
Oh, and
there
he
he
puts
goes.
the gateway down. Okay,
yeah, that's
so
what he was going to do.
That makes a lot more sense then, actually. Never mind.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to have enough money to do it in time, but he just barely did. And, well, I don't know. I mean, DongRaeGu's going to go and kill the pylon here and kill the forge, and then we're going to have a longer game.
Yeah, exactly. Because when this happens, Zerg just has to just basically be like, all right, well, I'm going to have to drone up because it's not going to work against cannons with probes protecting them and stuff. You can't just overpower very easily. You can sometimes, but it's risky to try and just all in.
Yeah, and in this case, with the cannon positioned the way it is, where it's surrounded on 3 different sides by the nexus, the pylon, and the gateway.
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know why I didn't
absolutely
think
not
about the gateway, but
Well, yeah, I mean, it's just weird to think about that, especially if you're not a Pro S player. I knew that's what he was going to do, but I was like, I don't know if he's going to have enough money for that gate, man. And now the Zerglings are actually going to do something really smart and target down the probes on the edge, so you can't mine from those patches.
Yeah, he's actually just camping that patch. He just can't even mine from one of them. Oh, he's actually mining from the back of the patch. That's hilarious.
The probes are like smart. They're like, oh, I'm not falling for this. I'm going to mine from the other side of that patch. Look at that probe. That's a smart probe. But now he like blocks himself up. He's like, I'm going to put a pylon here so I can't mine there. It's actually a dumb probe. I don't know what I was just talking about.
Idiot probe. Gosh.
That was like your only chance, man.
The Zealot's dancing around. He's trying to get that second gas, but it's going to be really hard, actually, because he's trying to... Oh, he cancels that pylon.
He wants to get another cannon up by the looks of it. Although when he gets a stalker out, things are going to change pretty quickly as well.
Yeah.
And in fact, he's making a sentry. He has a supply block, though, because he canceled that pylon. And now, pylon finishes. Chrono boosting that warp gate research out. It's not uncommon to see a 4-gate follow-up to this. It's almost impossible for the Zerg to hold against a 4-gate, and I think that is probably what we're going to see. Zergling speed being researched for DongRaeGu right now. I actually just don't understand why he's 6-pooled. I think maybe he's not comfortable playing on Tall Dream Altar. A lot of Zergs will tell you that they just don't feel comfortable playing on this map against Pro S in the late game, and DongRaeGu may feel the same. Well,
I mean, if you're up a game, you might as well... I mean, that's a good spot to cheese from, because then, you know, if JYP had scouted the other direction, hold that thought, Zergling's chasing, trying to get these sentries, and they do get chased off. Nice control by JYP. But I mean, if JYP scouts the other direction, or scouts later, it's a free win.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if he had just gone Nexus first without scouting, he would have
like
lost.
Forge Nexus or something like that, it would have been just free win. So you might as well do that if you're a game up.
I mean, basically it means one of two things. He either doesn't feel comfortable on this map, or he feels so comfortable that he's better than JYP that he's like, well, I can throw this game away if it doesn't work, I'll still win game 3.
Yeah.
It's like one of two things. Well, it looks like instead of 4-gating, instead of putting a ton of pressure on, JYP is just going to make a Nexus here, expand off of 3 gates, and he's still going to be way ahead. He's just not going to end the game. Playing it a little bit safer. Now that's a lot of speedlings coming out here, and you know they're There aren't that many units for JYP. He
Yeah,
has to
he
be very
actually has
careful
a ton
here.
of links, and he's baiting him over to the Nexus. He's baiting him away from the choke. He can't. Oh, but he doesn't get into the choke in time. Though.
He has to cancel that Nexus, man.
He's gonna force the cancel. If he'd baited him a little farther from that choke, though, he could have surrounded that and killed everything pretty easily with just the sentries.
Oh man, JYP falling apart here. That was pretty sad. That was kind of sad to watch.
Which one? The Nexus?
The repeated cancel of the Forge. Gate, cancel Forge, cancel Forge again in a different spot. It was like, oh man.
I thought you meant the Nexus. I was like, well, he had to cancel.
Well, no, yeah, the Nexus cancel was like unfortunate.
I see what you're saying now.
Yeah. And well, guys.
Yeah, DongRaeGu
is ahead.
He droned up, and now he has more drones than JYP has probes. He's got a second base, which JYP doesn't have. He's gonna get a third, which JYP is nowhere near getting.
And JYP has no sense of map control. He's got sentries, but he doesn't have enough mobile units. If he tries to move out on the map, he's gonna get counterattacked. He doesn't have any cannons up at that Nexus yet. He's building his first one. DongRaeGu can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's got a lot of sentries though, so at least he can't really be broken right now. But like you said, DongRaeGu can just kind of do whatever he wants for a while. And researching hallucinations so you can get some idea of what's going on.
Yeah, it's a really smart move.
Smart move.
Smart move.
It's a smart
That
move.
pro building the pylon earlier, that was
JYP,
not a smart move.
It's a JYP move. By the way, JYP used to be called Smart.
Yes. That's it's kind of funny how we were talking about that. I was gonna be like, is Moltrap going to mention it, or I should mention it? You know, the other day we had Phoenix versus Tastar. I got so many tweets being like, you should have made a joke about how they're both Cross Warriors, and I was like, why? Like, my brain hurt. I like felt sad. I was like, I want to go back in time and change this.
I didn't even realize that until afterwards either, and then I was like, oh man, that would have been an epic opportunity.
Oh, this is nice. I like this.
That is actually really cool.
That's TSL smart right there.
Yeah. And he hallucinates 2 more Phoenixes to go around the map. He has enough sentries that it doesn't even matter. He still has infinite force fields right now, despite doing a few hallucinations. Checking out DongRaeGu's base.
Wants to see if there's a Spire, and that's what he's going to see, which is very frustrating. He doesn't have a lot of Stalkers. He's got mostly sentries. He knows now is the timing where he needs to move out, because the Spire is going up. His opponent is vulnerable. He's invested a lot into this, but moving these Zealots out was not the right idea.
Oh, he does get him back to, well, not the best spot, but a spot.
Wants to put those on the hold position or block with a gateway and then move those Zealots forward. He needs to hit with the timing now, because when those Mias come out, DongRaeGu is in a position where those Mias will keep JYP in his base forever, and he'll never be able to do anything again.
Does he? Wait, does he have a Spire?
Yeah, he had a, well, he canceled it.
He canceled it and made an infestation pit.
Yeah, he canceled it and made an infestation pit. Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't realize he canceled it. So that's really interesting. Of course, he knew that his opponent saw it.
Oh, maybe that's why he canceled it.
Yeah, the hallucination came in and saw it, so he was like, well, I guess I'll cancel this. But this attack is really going to be scary for the same reason making Infestors is a pretty big investment as well, as same as making a Spire, so it's very difficult to hold these little timing attacks.
And he's waiting for Pathogen Glands to make the Infestors, so he's not going to have any that are... Well, actually, if he makes some Infestors right now, he's going to have a few Fungals when this attack hits.
And
Zealot's getting caught off guard.
Yeah, he'd actually sent his sentries home for some reason, and he just decided to send his Zealots over here. This is not smart.
I think he was hoping to sneak in there and just target down the 3rd hatchery.
Yeah.
But
well, that
he
didn't
does
quite
still
work
have a lot
out.
of sentries at least.
7 Infestors on the way. Burrow on the way. +1 melee attack. Storm on the way. Pretty quick Storm. That's going to really help JYP out, because that's the one thing he's going to have, the one trump card he's going to be able to pull out of his pocket to play.
That actually could be really good, because DongRaeGu is getting a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, he's doing Ling Infestor
He's
style.
actually just made 22 Zerglings more. He already has a bunch on the map. So Storm can be so good against Zerglings, and also it means he's going to have feedbacks around for the Infestors.
And Archons, of course, when the energy runs out, are quite good against.
So his combination, his unit combo is actually going to be really good. He needs to actually make some Templar though.
Well, he's got 4 out right now.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Could make some more though, and these Stalkers maybe getting caught. You guys didn't get a shot at it. Those little Infestors are going forward.
Infestors are like just running up the middle. What are these Infestors doing,
They want to walk into a Photon Cannon and High Templar,
They're
I
going to
guess.
cast down a bunch of He's going to try and snipe the Nexus with Terrans.
Yeah, but there are storms. So
Oh, but there's storms, so...
Well, this game just changed really quickly.
Wow.
That was a ton of wasted energy.
And he forces a cancel on the Nexus on the left, but he just lost like 8 Infestors worth of energy.
Who does this guy think he is, Destiny? I don't know, man. That was like...
Well, you know, Storm finished like 10 seconds earlier. If he had been a little bit later on Storm, that could have worked.
Yeah, it could have worked.
So it wasn't like a really dumb move or anything like that, but... And he still has the Infestors, technically, right?
Yeah, he does, but he just used all their energy, so...
Yeah. So they can rebuild up energy, though.
Dark Shrine going down, as well as a Warp Prism.
I just want to point out, JYP is constantly sending hallucinated phoenixes into scout. He is making sure he knows at all times what DongRaeGu is doing.
Yeah, what
really,
units
really
he's
smart.
making, has he made any tech switches? We're going to see another Brood War-esque Templar drop here.
Nice.
As you can see, the energy was highlighted is enough for Storm. Hive is finishing, he's remaking that Spire now. Probably going to see Broodlord tech to follow this up, because Storms do okay against Broodlords, but it's not your ideal answer. You need a ton of Blink Stalkers, or more importantly, Void Rays to deal with those Broodlords.
JYP actually, by the way, was a Brood War player.
Yes. What ID, do you remember what ID he used in Brood War?
I do not know. Looks like he actually beat Ganji in a MST one time. That's kind of funny.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. His alternate, it just says Smart SG on TLPD.
But that's a StarCraft 2 clan SG. Do you guys know IMC'd? He was actually in the clan SG as well.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
anyway,
here comes
some DTs.
Yeah, these DTs going to do a
3
decent amount of damage.
DTs coming in.
Oh, could he target the Spire?
Oh, he might if he sees it. Overseer morphs, but he's going to be a little while. He's targeting the Queen. Or, I don't know what he's doing. Actually, he needs to focus. He should focus that Spire, actually. Oh, a fungal. But there's the Storm Drop killing a ton of drones!
Oh my god.
That was huge!
I want to click on that Templar so bad to see how many
Oh
kills.
my god, all the drones even clumped up.
34 kills on those drones, man.
What?
34.
Oh my goodness.
That was like, oh, I guess Dark Templar going, let me transfer all my drones into the one spot. That was his plan.
That was his plan.
That was his plan.
Dude, that totally just clicked in both our minds at the
I
same
know.
time, where we like realized, oh!
I was like, all those drones went over there. It's like, oh.
That was actually freaking genius.
That was genius.
JYP.
And uh-oh, look at this. Targeting down some Infestors.
Fungo goes off to save him, but loses 2 Infestors. And here's a Zergling counterattack coming into the natural, though. There doesn't appear to be any Templar around. He's just going to run straight into the main. I don't know about that. He probably should have tried to kill probes in the natural,
Well,
but
he's
he's
going to take out the
Templar
archive. Yeah, that's pretty good.
That's actually really good. He's going to send some Zerglings over here to kill that off. Gets the archives, and he should actually kill off the Twilight Council as well. If
He has Adrenal Gland, so he's able to kill things very quickly.
Oh, nice.
And in fact, he's going to get this Bay as well.
Greater Spire going up, and yeah, in the background, we didn't catch a shot of it, but he killed the Robotics support bay, so he cannot make Colossus, which would be a nice tech switch. Well, depending on what DongRaeGu continues to make.
Well, I don't know how nice of a tech switch is going to be if Broodlords start coming out. Nice little fungal ears can catch these Stalkers.
I mean, if he keeps I was thinking if he kept making Zerglings.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad idea. He just he doesn't quite realize what's going on, I think, with the Spire. Picking off some creep. And who would have thought a game like this would have occurred after a 6-pool?
I don't know, man. Yeah, this has turned into actually an epic game. All kinds of crazy stuff going on. Stalker's like, I want to die. I'm going to run in here and just die. There are some Broodlords now on the map, though. Another Zergling counterattack is looking to be in progress. JYP is bringing his forces back, though, in the middle of the map. Actually, just kind of a coincidence, I think. Both those armies kind of met running.
Yeah. Well, back at home, JYP actually added a ton of photon cannons to stop these sorts of things from happening.
And there's a lot of Broodlords. 5 Broodlords.
Oh, we didn't get a shot of it, but DT's killed a hatchery in the bottom right of the map.
Nice.
And that's an unfortunate situation.
Dude, oh my gosh, I didn't realize JYP, because the minimap is cut off on this monitor, JYP actually took the 9 o'clock base,
Yeah.
which would normally be like DongRaeGu territory, kind of.
Yeah, it's a little bit strange. He wants to expand towards his opponent so he can defend that and be aggressive at the same time.
True.
DongRaeGu unpowered both of his robotics facilities. I guess you guys got a shot at that because his Immortal was stuck.
He actually killed the pylon?
Yeah, he killed the pylon to get the Immortal out, then it like unpowered both of his robos, so he had to remake pylons over there. Unpowered his Twilight, or his Temple Archives, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And a storm drop over the cliff over here at the natural. It's not even a drop, it's just a walk up.
Kills a few drones.
6 kills.
Not a ton though. Oh, that could have been really bad. But he only gets a couple more. And here's a Baneling drop though. He's gonna drop the natural, drop the third. No, that's the fourth. Banelings drop out, slaughtering probes.
Every probe goes down except 2 gas probes.
And he actually sent more. Nope, he didn't actually send those overlords up yet to the other base, but he kills about 10 probes in that fourth.
There's 1 Baneling still over there too, just kind of hanging out. So,
wow, 56. There have been a total of almost 100 units, workers killed in this game.
Catches this overlord.
Oh no, he might get it. Oh! Kills it with all the Banelings inside.
Now, during all of this game, like there's been tons of Dark Templar harass, for example. DT harass going on right now down at the third base of DongRaeGu, and he lost that fourth base. He was able to remake that, dropping Zealots in the main. JYP is showing us his Brood War mechanics are shining through here, man. He is doing so much harass, and these Brood Lords are just kind of chilling. He's been hiding those for a while.
Yeah, and now he's going to come out with 10 Brood Lords, 9 Brood Lords rather. They're going to force these Stalkers to blink away. And I don't know if JYP has anything to deal with those Brood Lords, man.
He actually doesn't. What he has right now is 11 Stalkers, 4 High Templar, and 4 Colossi.
I guess, I mean, if they clump up, he could storm them, but...
Yeah, he needs to buy himself some time. He may just have to sacrifice his base. He's already remade a Nexus in the north. I think he's just going to have to let this base go.
Yeah.
Make a tech switch to either Brood Lords, or excuse me, Void Rays, or he looks like he's already making the switch to Void Rays.
He's got 2 Stargates going
Void Rays are coming up here. He's actually adding a ton more gates so he can make more Blink Stalkers.
Oh, nice. Using the immobility of those Brood Lords to go over here and just attack the fourth at the bottom right. Just like you said, he's sacrificing this base, but at the bottom right, he's killing that off as well. He's going to move into DongRaeGu's third. He needs to bring the Brood Lords back down to deal with this army. Infestor's there as well. He could fungal everything. He fungals to hold him in place for the Banelings to hit some of the Stalkers.
And
he's going to get forced back, it looks like. Fungling a couple sentries as well.
Yeah, a lot of those sentries went down. But sentry's not too important at this stage of the game. I mean, there's a lot of Zerglings out, but with storms and everything else that's going on, sentries aren't doing a lot of damage to Brood Lords and things like that. This is going to be really bad. This could be a turning point of this game. DongRaeGu may re-control everything after this battle.
Oh.
This is the scary part here. He's not even able to get any storms off. He's losing his key units here.
He does get most of those Zerglings at least, but it's really the Brood Lords. The Broods are like infinite Zerglings anyway. He really needs to worry about them the most. And yeah, so JYP falling back. Actually, well, he's actually moving his army kind of around the side.
JYP is about to have a better income than DongRaeGu has, but you know, he's buying himself time. He's trying to so he can get these Void Rays out. He's already got 4 Void Rays out. He's gonna have 6 in just a moment. He doesn't have any air weapons for those. That's gonna be really good, but he has to be very careful of the infestors.
Yeah.
He's gonna lose all of his Void Rays if he's not careful. So he's gotta storm everything here, feedback some of the infestors.
Yeah, he's gotta feedback the infestors.
Oh, I like this Dark Templar choice here.
Oh no! Gets 1 storm off on the Brood Lords, but he can't get anywhere close enough to feedback the
Look at how many Broodlings there are.
There's like a ton of Broodlings, but JYP takes out DongRaeGu's third. DongRaeGu is barely mined right now. We are seeing a base trade situation, but here comes the Void Rays. Colossi killing things. The Void Rays are coming in, and I don't know where his infestors are. There they are, coming up.
He's going to want to
split these. Are the Void Rays going to be able to deal with this?
He's going to have to go back, but he's trapped. He's fungled.
Oh, he fungles them. The infested Terrans pop out. The fungal Void Rays can't escape. They kill them all, and we are going to see a base trade here. I think JYP is going to have the advantage in that.
Absolutely. He's got such a mobile army. He's got a strong army. And the army of JYP has 4 Colossi. He's got about 10 Stalkers and 2 Immortals, plus a Sentry scattered in there. And that army is just not going to be able to kill everything that DongRaeGu can throw out.
Oh my god, a ton of probes. He needs to fungal that. Oh, he missed a chance to fungal every probe that JYP had. But he's going to kill off these Void Rays, though. but he can't really be in every place at once. He's splitting the Void Rays up, and he's actually hitting a gateway with the Infested Terrans instead of the Void Rays for some reason. But DongRaeGu just is going to lose his main.
DongRaeGu actually surprisingly is not hiding extractors, and he only has 59 minerals left. So this game is getting closer than it should have been. Now, he's about to lose his hive here. He's got one more hatchery, which is the bottom base, and DongRaeGu has turned around, but he has enough Broodlords to clean up this army most likely. If he cleans up the army, he can counterattack again and probably end the game, but JYP is mining right now. He's continuing to make Void Rays. This is actually a pretty close game, Motrap.
Yeah, it is close, but
the Infestors are key here.
Yeah, so here's the thing, is now JYP's army is trapped. And if DongRaeGu could finish it off, well, it's kind of trapped, actually.
That was a bad choice, blinking under those Broodlords like that. Saves his Colossi, but for how long?
Yeah, he could have He could have blinked them down and
gotten them out of there.
Escape with them.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. Then he could have attacked the hatchery again.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, no.
That Dark Templar getting involved here a little bit. Now, he's making Void Rays back at home almost entirely. That's almost all he's making. He's going to try to get a critical number of Void Rays to kill the Corruptors and the Infestors, but there are so many Infestors and Corruptors out right now, it's going to be very difficult. In fact, actually, he ended up losing all of his Corruptors in that last engagement, so he's got 8 Broodlords, 35 Zerglings, and 5 Infestors. He's got no money. He's got 3 mining drones on 1 base, so that's it. So this is the army he has. Yeah. JYP has a good income, but his army is so small that he's struggling to make an army that can deal with the army that he's got against him here. This is a very close game. If he targets these Infestors, though, with these Colossi, when they're away from the Broodlords, he will have a really good chance at this. Yeah, but if DongRaeGu keeps his army consolidated, it's going to be very difficult to engage, and here we go!
DongRaeGu can still kill this if he can. He loses 1 Infestor, 2 Infestors. He blinks forward, he's going for the Infestors, so they're the only thing that can deal with these Void Rays. And I think there's just not enough Infestors to deal with the Void Rays.
I think this is going to be it. He's going to be able to target down these Broodlords. Sure, he's going to lose all his Colossi, but it doesn't matter. GG!
JYP comes back and takes game 2 in spectacular fashion with some awesome multitasking, some great drops.
Yeah, great play by JYP. DongRaeGu played well as well. Able to come back from 6-pooling.
Yeah.
A failed 6-pool. He played it well, and that was an awesome game between 2 players. I told you guys this was going to be the close match today. This was going to be the awesome one, and it is, man.
This has been absolutely nuts. Yeah, I was like, oh, SC versus Tasia will be close, actually, and then, like, Tasia just wiped him out. But this has been really, really close. These 2 players, obviously, very well matched, very highly skilled. I'm definitely, like I said, I hadn't seen too much of JYP before. I'm definitely impressed by him today.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
His multitasking with the drops is really good. We saw him, like, even last game. The Void Rays, the Sentry drop, the defending the counterattack. For a while, I felt like DongRaeGu was outclassing him this game. But then he made what I'm going to refer to as now, from now on, the Send mistake. There's to make too many Broodlords. No, I'm serious. If you commit too much to the Broodlords, it's the Send mistake. And then the Void Rays come on a big map. They're not mobile enough. And then a game that you probably would have won, you end up losing.
Yeah, but obviously, he was depending on the Infestors to be his anti-air. And you're right, if he'd had maybe like a group of 6 to 8 Corruptors instead, and only like a handful of Broodlords to control things, you're right, it would have been a little bit better off maybe.
Yeah, you have the situation where JYP has 2 mining bases. One's like over here, one's over here. And DongRaeGu has this really strong army, but he has no mining. So it's like, well, why didn't he harass the bases? Well, if his Zerglings were away, then the Stalkers and everything else would have killed things quickly. So he had to keep his Zerglings with his army, so he couldn't harass. But he's like, I need to harass. If I don't harass, he's going to build up Void Rays, and I don't have an economy. So he's like slowly trying to pick off 1 base at a time. But then JYP is being really mobile around the map. That was like really tense. It's like hard to say how that could have gone better. I think like committing to the Broodlords so early, he made like 15 of them or something before we got into the base trade scenario. I think that was a little too much.
Well, and he wanted to keep them hidden and like just make a bunch before he revealed them, and it did work. He caught JYP with no anti-air. He caught him with no anti-air, but the issue then was that he kind of moved out and like didn't make much to back that up. He should have maybe expected Void Rays to come out in response, and he didn't have any like Corruptors or anything like that. He did try valiantly to try and hold off the anti-air with Infestors, and it worked for a while. but JYP had been using his mobility and killing off bases so much that DongRaeGu just couldn't keep up
exactly.
by that point.
And once the Infestors fell, no anti-air, the Broodlords die, and GG comes out.
GG. And, I mean, I feel like DongRaeGu, maybe he shouldn't have come back as, I don't know. Because, like, they went for a base trade, and then DongRaeGu came back before he killed everything JYP had.
Yeah.
So he was still mining and still making Void Rays, while DongRaeGu had like 3 mining drones. So
yeah.
I don't know. That could have gone differently as well, although he kind of had to come back otherwise. Anyway, doesn't really matter. That is done with.
Man.
It is complicated. It's all going to come down to Metalopolis, though. We're going to have one last game to determine who's going to go to the round of 8 in the up and down matches. And who is going to be only Code A next season? We're going to find out in just a moment. Both players have some proving to do. Here we go.